So over to Pete Martin. Thank you.
I won't do that. So, follow that, as they say. So, just following on from what happened to Adam. So, Adam was whisked off to hospital. I got in touch with Annie's mother, and she come to collect me, shot off down to the Alexandra Hospital, and the last thing that I heard Adam say through the whole event was, "Where's Pete?" So even though the guy was, for all intents and purposes, dying, he was still asking where his mate was. So I'll never forget that. So they whisked him off, and as far as I was concerned, he's alive, he's in the hospital, it's going to be okay, happy days. And then a couple of hours later, a surgeon came out to speak to me, and I said to him, "Okay, well, so he's going to be okay now, isn't he?" And the surgeon said, "Well, we don't know yet, because there's been a few complications, because his liver is leaking, and that's poisoning him from the inside. So we've bunged all the holes up, we've filled him back full of blood, but the problem now is his liver. So if we can't sort that out, then obviously we're not going to be able to save him. So can you tell his mother that he'll be dead by morning, probably?" So I said, "Well, hang on a minute, he's still alive, isn't he?" "Yeah." I said, "Well, if he dies, tell me, and I'll do that, but until that happens, I ain't saying anything. So let's just keep positive and see what happens, shall we?" And then off he popped, and then he came back. It seemed like forever, probably about 60 fags later, because I used to smoke then. Came back and said, "We've saved him." The plan was, if what we were going to do didn't work, we were going to get him up to the QE, cut him open, put a cage around his liver, squash his liver in to stem the leakage. But we didn't have to do that, so we've managed to save him. So I said, "Okay, great, cool as a cucumber, absolutely no problem at all." Went outside and threw up. So I got about 6 hours of adrenaline in my stomach. So I went outside, got rid of the adrenaline, and then I was sort of okay. What followed that was weeks and months of trauma. I wasn't allowed back into the property for a few days, but when I went back in, the first thing I had to do was clear all the blood up. It's not like on the telly when the cleaning team comes and does it all before you. So I cleaned up, not very well, as I was told when we come home. It's a bit of a moaner. Weeks later, when we found blood in light switches and in between the cracks of laminate flooring, but I did my best. So my mate came home, and we were both suffering with PTSD. I know a lot about PTSD now. I'm a qualified counsellor, and I do a lot of work extensively around PTSD. Didn't know a lot about it at the time, but we were both suffering with PTSD. I had flashbacks, I had night terrors, I had trauma. I walked around town and I'd see the perpetrator, even though I knew he was locked up safely, thanks to Richard and his lads. But this is what happens when you have PTSD. Adam had PTSD as well. The jury's out on whether you can get rid of PTSD. I've got my own thoughts on it. At one time, people said you can't be cured of PTSD. Now there's mixed verdicts on it. So it was a time of great trauma, but we also had fun as well. We weren't all doing it clean, because at the end of the day, we'd had a bit of result, hadn't we?